What do you mean by these terms? Circle of illumination. It is nothing but an imaginary longitude if you consider it. And illumination in the sense light is falling on an object. That's why it is shining, but it's not inherently glowing bright because it's not a star. I think you know the difference between star and a planet. In case of star, it emits its own light and heat and produces its own energy. That's why it's bright, and the sun is an example of star. But whereas coming to planet, it just gets illuminated, or something similar like a satellite called moon. It also doesn't inherently have any heat energy or light energy, but it radiates or it shines due to the energy received from a star, so that it is visible to our naked eye. So that's why it is called as non-illuminating body. No, I mean like not self-illuminating bodies. So here in case of earth also, earth, sun, as the sun glows very brightly, the sun rays fall on part of the earth. So as you know, only this side of the earth is having daylight and this side is dark in the night. So this line which separates it both day and night times is called as circle of illumination. So it's just like an imaginary longitude or a meridian that separates both the day and night. Okay, and earth day means what is the work of an earth? It's rotation time. So it takes a spin around itself, and for that it takes 24 hours. It's simply nothing but the rotation time of the earth, which is called as earth day. And revolution, obviously it takes 365 days. Not exactly, it is 365 days plus 6 hours. This is the exact time required for the earth to revolve around the sun in an elliptical orbit. As I shown here, this is not a complete spherical or circular way, but the orbit is in an elliptical way. Okay, so this is somewhat nearer than this, which is farther. This is like perihelion period and this is like aphelion period. Okay, so yes, this 6 hours, so on, if you take for 4 years, it comes as 24 hours, so which we can consider it as one day, and there it comes as 366 days in the leap year. So exactly the revolution period of earth is 365 days plus 6 hours. Solstice, of course, sol in the sense the sun god or the solar or the sun, just simply. We know about the moon, it is like waning and waxing, like 27 days of rotation and revolution. Yes, we are aware of it. Similar to the moon, the sun is also having solstice. Just like the moon wanes and waxes, like it glows so brightly, and otherwise it just dims off to form a new moon, full moon. We know that periods. Similarly for the sun also, it is having two phases, like completely to the maximum of its brightness in certain period, which the earth faces in certain period, and sometimes the earth faces very lesser sun rays during certain period. So we shall discuss this clearly. Solstice in the sense there are 4 types in it. Okay, because of this earth's revolutionary phase, we can assume there are 4 types of solstice. Here we can see sun rays are direct onto the earth, isn't it? So yes, this is slightly tilted because of the axis of rotation. And Tropic of Cancer, Equator, Tropic of Capricorn, if we assume as such, we can see that the northern hemisphere is getting much of the sun rays than the southern hemisphere, which went somewhat behind, isn't it? So yes, this is called the longest day which we observe, because our India is located in the northeastern hemisphere of earth. So we face maximum daylight during this period, which is on 21st June. This is called summer solstice, and here it is farther away, and our India, as it is in northern hemisphere, northernmost part is far away, but southern hemisphere is facing the sun rays, whereas northern hemisphere is away from the sun rays. But we consider every solstice with respect to northern hemisphere itself. Okay, you just remember this point. It is always considered with respect to northern hemisphere. So our northern hemisphere is quite far away from the sun and it is not getting much sun rays, so it is winter solstice. This is usually observed on 22nd December as such. Okay, and here it is like an unequal path. Okay, of course this is tilted somewhat, this is also tilted on its axis 23.5 degrees, but Earth, the sun rays falling on Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn, Equator, all these are directly concentrated, similar to the concept we have previously referred as torrid zone, frigid zone, isn't it? So here the sun rays are quite directly concentrated, so here we can observe equal daylight and night time. Okay, so this is the longest day and this is the shortest day because it is winter. I am talking especially with respect to northern hemisphere only, and this is the most important point to be noted because most of us get often confused with these names referring to what spheres, but yes, you need to consider this all with respect to northern hemisphere itself. Okay, that is the pinpoint to be noted here. So yes, this is equinox, and this is also equinox because we are having equal day and night light. But this is vernal equinox, which is on 21st March, because this is vernal in the sense nothing but spring season. Okay, something associated with spring season. So this is vernal equinox, whereas this is autumn equinox, where we have the tree leaves falling and all, and this is on 23rd September. I hope now you got clear about all these concepts.